Do you want to confess something, my son?
I'm a good man, Father. I try to be a good man, but I see things.
They try to tap mostly into this idea of thought transmission, so transmission of information by thought alone, and they try to tap into this idea of brain reading. It's extremely complicated because it's not even like thoughts occur as isolated individual units in your brain that you can try to pick that unit and that's one thought. A thought is a thought process. It's basically a neurophysiological and a mental computation process that emerges from it. We're thinking all the time.
We posited a spectrum of waves lying outside of the range of those already discovered. We hypothesized that these waves could be used to communicate information. It was a brilliant idea, a theory, but a good one. They wanted to use the network to send the most clandestine information.
These kind of things like thought helmets that has been put out there in the commercial view or for military applications, they're much more limited on the information. That's, I think we're still very far away to be able to do. One interesting case that has been more and more used for military and civilian applications is what we call adaptive automation. So both for operators in the field, you can think about jet pilots, you can think about astronauts. So one of the issues that we have in persons who are operating at a certain level of stress and that their decrease on performance can cause serious problems is that the only evaluator that we have for what we call adaptive automation, so when the autopilot kicks in, so to speak, right, is based on their performance. So it's based on psychological and stress measures of performance, which means that whoever was the operator start performing worse and the pilot system kicks in. So there's already some potential damage done until it gets recognized. So one of the things that there's a lot of investigation going on, they still not have good markers for it, but they're trying to improve it, combining different type of measures and different factors, is this idea of adaptive automation in the sense that you're gonna pick up the trigger before actually the performance decreased. So if you can find neural signatures for this specific types of operations that come with, overstress or decrease of performance before it actually happens, you can try to use that to kick in the automation before you have a decrease of performance. So that's one of the big things in the research, and it's probably a more tangible milestone right now.
You'll note that the rotary movement gives the impression of a three-dimensional tunnel when in fact it is not. Next slide, please. It's an oldie but a goodie. As you observe this image, your brain perceives first a duck, a rabbit, a duck again. It always comes back to the duck. In truth, the image is neither.
And again, if we understand, in one hand, how the brain communicates, and in the other hand, how the brain devolves and structures itself throughout development, when you have these two things together, then I think we'll be in a fantastic position to really start building on artificial intelligence and any kind of augmentation of cognition by, artificial devices and so forth. For us as scientists, one of the exciting things about science fiction is that not only it gets the whole community excited, but for us as scientists, sometimes, even as crazy as some of these ideas might seem, it might actually generate ideas within the scientific community to try to explore it. So that's part of it.